We give Ohio a lot of credit. They got 3 really veteran, savvy guards that took control of the game at the end. Obviously, we got off to a poor start. Gave them 13. Thought we did an excellent job kind of gathering ourselves there after that start and getting to halftime where we were in a position to strike. Obviously, did a lot of really good things the second half to put ourselves in a position to win. And in overtime, did some things to give ourselves an opportunity to win. Didn't deserve to win that game, though. I commend our guys for their fight. I commend our guys for putting themselves in a position to win. But we've got to be able to maintain our composure. We've got to be able to move on to the next play. We got to not worry about whether the ball's going in for us, whether we're getting the calls that we've gotten all year. Like sometimes you don't get those, and you've got to be mentally tough enough to be able to overcome those things, and we were not that tonight. We had two huddles in the second half where we couldn't have basketball strategy because we were playing psychologist. And I haven't seen that in 20 plus years of coaching, where we've had 2 huddles like that. And we got to grow up. You know, there's a lot on these guys. I get that. But we have to grow up. Inexperienced, experience, we have to handle difficult things in a much more mature manner than we've handled them. And it just, put ourselves in a position to win and then just couldn't finish it. But there was a lot of fight from these guys to get them back in that thing. And there's nothing I can say to them that's going to make them feel better. But we have to be a little bit more mature in how we handle situations.
You said you feel like you guys didn't deserve to win. Do you feel like that boils down to the maturity factor?
Yeah, I mean, you can't. Yeah. I mean, you can't. We did some good things. You know, we took care of the basketball much better the second half. We made shots. We executed. We got looks that we wanted throughout the second half, throughout overtime. But you've got to be able to have some composure in stressful situations when things are difficult, and we struggled with that tonight. Whether it was Jalen getting to his left hand consistently late, whether it was a twirl action in the middle of the court that we guarded and switched the entire night, that then all of a sudden we're just not going to switch, and for what reason? And so you got to go back and look and see if some of these mistakes that are being made at the end of games are coming from the same person. And we've got to be able to handle those situations better.
How did you feel about the shot selection down the stretch, either in
second half or overtime? Listen, Mickey's right here. Whether he's here or we're going to talk about it, but he had 2 3-pointers blocked tonight. That can't happen to a good college basketball player, and Mickey's a good player. You've got to you can't get two jump shots blocked. There's no reason to ever get a jump shot blocked. If you got a jump shot gets blocked, it's a bad shot. You're guarded. He's growing in that area. He's made some really good plays. We don't have an opportunity to win the game without him tonight. He did a lot of great things. Rebounded the ball well. A couple poor defensive plays the the first half, but I thought he did a much better job the second half. But it's the same, like, you can't hit home runs, man. You can't swing for the fences. And I thought we did a better job of that for a majority of the game. But it still creeps in.
Mickey, what's kind of your standpoint on that? Looking back, do you kind of wish you had those shots back?
I mean, yeah, a lot of plays wish we could take back in the game, so we could have won the game.
Moving forward, I guess, how do you feel like you can, I guess, see those before they happen maybe, or realize before you shoot it that might not be a good shot?
Just continue to learn from this experience, past experience. Just do our best to try to win the game.
Yeah. How much of this loss do you think comes down to free throws?
Look, man, I'll put him at the free throw line on Saturday. Like, don't go there, dude. Don't go there.
Yeah.
I'll put that dude at the free throw line on Saturday. I got no problem. What were we tonight? 12 of 19. That's probably as poor as we've shot all year. I think we were top 25 in the country at shooting free throws. Like, these guys are capable. Tonight they didn't go in. But you're above that, dude. Don't go there. Don't go there. They didn't fall in tonight. Now, how does Bashir Jihad draw 13 or 14 fouls in 24 minutes, and he draws 6 tonight? I mean, we're one of the best teams in the country at getting to the free throw line, and we get outshot at the free throw line. It's what happens, but it's how we handle those situations, and how we handle those things that I'm much more concerned with.
Yeah. You kind of talked about Jalen. You talked about one of those huddles where he's kind of playing psychologist. I noticed one of those was with you. What's a conversation like that sound like, and how do you kind of approach it on the court?
First, I want to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And it's just, that's an in-huddle type of thing. I'm not going to speak on that.
Yeah. And then I guess just, is there a difference in processing an overtime loss as compared to a regulation loss?
Nah, overtime, we just had the extra 5 minutes. So, it's the same thing. It's just basketball.
Yeah. And I guess just lastly, for you in particular, still played well tonight. 22 points, 9 rebounds. How do you, I guess, take the good and the bad in games like this and use it to move forward?
That's basketball. It's going to be good and bad. 22 points, that stuff doesn't matter to me. We didn't win, and I had a chance to win it. So I just got to go back, watch film, get better. I made some mistakes defensively that gave them the lead in the first place. So, yeah.
And then my last thing is just for Mickey. Played, I believe, about half of the second half with 4 fouls. Does that change anything on defensive approach?
I would say a little bit. A couple of plays I tried not to pick up the fifth, but I'm just trying to compete as hard as I can, try to put my team in the best position to win, be smart at the same time, just trying my hardest to win the game.
For sure.
You guys are coming down to the final 8 games of the season, and for both players, every game could be the difference between making the MAC tournament and not. How does that affect your mindset going into the last 8 games?
It's the same mindset we had from the beginning of the year, which is win. So it doesn't change anything. We just want to win.
Same as Jalen. We never want to lose a game. Going to every game trying to win.
Yeah, and then Coach, kind of off that, those games could add a lot of pressure, especially for some newer guys that haven't experienced it. How do you feel about your team's ability down to handle that stretch?
Just go play. It's like they're playing a game. It's college basketball. I'm more concerned with how we handle some of these situations in the heat of the moment. Because have not seen the growth that I would like to see in some of those areas, and so we've got to be better in those areas. But they've got everything that they want to play for is in front of them. They've come a long way throughout the season. We just got to continue to improve. You asked about the free throws. We fouled more. We fouled 21-18 on the fouls. We do statistically we're a team that doesn't really foul that much. They are a team that it's the worst part of their defense is that they foul. But when things don't go your way, you have to. You've got to be able to navigate that and find different ways to be successful, and that's where we really kind of struggle. And we've got to grow up. We got to have a different level of maturity to us when we're in those situations and how we handle them and how we respond.